Before we get started, let me thank all of you in the media for what you all did to help with the telethon. And I say that because it's over $4 million right now. And really, we got shoes on the way for this weekend, so that's $500,000. So basically, $4.5 million. How many people do we have in this state?
About that.
4.5 million. That means every man, woman, and child gave $1 to this, which is incredible. We're not a rich state, but we've got generous people with good hearts, and to have a local NBC affiliate do a telethon and you raise, I think by Sunday it'll be $5 million. It ends Sunday, so if you want to go online and finish this out, it could be $5 million before the Sunday. That is well, it could be more than that because there are more shoes coming after that that are probably valued at $500,000 or more. But there are 10,000 pair on the way now to help. All the athletes and coaches that stepped up, the athletic department, what they did to make the environment, LAX, what you did, it was professional. It got a little sloppy at the end. We were grabbing mics and doing stuff, but I thought that, and let me thank Kelly Craft, who helped me raise money. I called, you know, she and I were manning the phones to do it, and to do something like this, you have to have matching dollars. You have to. And they're not, they were friends and people in the community and across the state, the country, the world. I mean, it's that kind of deal that happens. I also think it's this amount of money because the people in the state, when we did Haiti, I mean, we cried watching the film. When we did Superstorm Sandy and saw the stories, we couldn't believe it in New Jersey. In Houston, it affected Xavier and his family. But this is Kentucky. Yep, they're American citizens, but they're our citizens. To see and hear, unbelievable. And again, I want to thank the media because if you don't get involved to help us say this is what it is, it doesn't happen. And that'll probably be the last time while I'm coaching here that I'll thank you all for anything. But I did today, and I need you to mark down the date so when you say, you guys, I said, I thanked you on December 16th, 2021.
John, when you say matching, does that mean the 4.5 is going to be 9?
No. What you have, we raised as much as we matched. So it wasn't like there were $300,000 raised on the telethon. No, what we raised and matched, the shoe is separate from that. That's why I'm saying 4.5. And if you throw both shoe things that we're doing, it's probably another $1 million on top of the 4. But these are shoes going directly to West Kentucky. Hopefully we get something where they're there now because people need stuff now. We need American Red Cross on the ground right now giving out money. We need people, the water, the shoes, the generators would be big. Temporary housing. Hopefully motels are in that area, but the motel may have got wiped out. But maybe a hotel or two are saying we're making this available. There's 1,000 homes, and that's in one town. This was, and I say, by the grace of God, I told the team yesterday, what if that hit in Lexington, where we have 350,000 people instead of 10,000? What would have happened? And who in this room could have been killed or had their house wiped out? By the grace of God, it wasn't us. And I think that's why people said, let's help, let's do this. And the people the matching donors, you know, I just can't thank them enough. And they, you know, if they won't recognize, they will be. Most of them don't. They don't. And, but it's, I hit the team after practice and before to thank them. And I thank the coaches and other athletes because everybody wanted to be involved in this. All right, let's talk basketball.
Well, I have one more question.
Sure.
What does it say to you when former players who aren't from Kentucky and who maybe spent 9 months here on campus still think enough about the state and the program?
That's a good question. My guess is when it's said and done, 25 of them will have given money, and it's probably $250,000 or more. I think right now, I didn't look at the list, but I think it's about 16 or 17 right now. But others have hit me. I'm absolutely in. You know, that it's going to end up being 25. And some may do it, you know, Jamal wasn't even from this country. And he's like, I'm part of Kentucky. That's part of who I am. So, thank you for asking. Now let's talk basketball.
Now, this is a little sort of off basketball, but UCLA had to cancel last night. There's some talk about whether they'll be able to play Saturday, some other games too. How are you guys right now as far as COVID concerned?
We'd play both then. We'll play one day, we'll play the next day. We're fine. Our kids just want to play and get the taste out of their mouth of that last game. I come back to give Notre Dame credit in their crowd. Give them credit. We went 2 for 19. When a team goes 2 for 19, they lose by 20. We had a 2-point lead with 1:30 to go. Did not play well. Give the credit to Notre Dame. They did some things that kind of confused us. But it's kind of like you get 5 fingers and 5 fingers, and the dike has a leak, and then all of a sudden you get it, we're good, and all of a sudden one hits up here. I didn't expect us to go 2 for 19. But that happens sometimes. But win anyway. 1:30 to go, 2-point lead. You win that game. And you know what? As a coach, you win that game. But we didn't. So now I grieve for 24 hours, bumped it off. Here we go. We've made I'm experimenting with some stuff. We're messing around. We had a couple days. We'll see. Still trying to figure out the team. Good group of kids. I told them, this is a different place now. You go somewhere else and you lose games, it's fine. Lose games here. It's a totally different deal. And you know what? But playing in Rupp Arena when it's packed is a different deal too. And so you got the advantages and the disadvantages. Yeah, you're on the main stage, but you can't hide. No cracks to jump in. You want to jump in a crack and is it over yet? Can't do that here. Cracks are real tight. You can't jump down. You got to perform. But we'll see. You know, this Ohio State's really good, by the way. And obviously, they beat Duke, who beat us. And so they're really good. They're really physical. You know, they're a veteran team, so just like Notre Dame ran their stuff better than we ran our stuff. This team runs good stuff. And I told Chris, I said, Coach Holtman, you're running good stuff. And they know what they're trying to get.
How have you seen Xavier respond this week? I know you said you would try some different things if other teams play off in the way that Notre Dame did.
Yeah, I mean, he's making shots yesterday, and I stopped the practice, and I look at the team, and you know what they say? We have a comment we make, and excuse me when I do that shit in a game. That's what we say. Like they do something, and it's like, whoa, do that in the game. But there's going to be great challenges because of the physicality. May even play Lance and Oscar together at times. Just 2 bruisers against their 2 bruisers. Let's see what happens. You know, they're in a good spirit. I mean, I had them text me how they could help the team. And I say this, I had a friend of mine call me and say, your teams have always had a swagger. They've had a swagger in a warm-up line. They had a swagger. When I watched the Notre Dame game, I didn't see it. And I told them, so what would lead somebody to say you don't have a swagger? Your body language. Your body language. You miss a shot. Every one of you in this room, when your offense isn't going, you have no swagger because you're so into you. You can't, what do you do to help us win when you're not making shots? How do you create when people watch us, the officials, the other team, the other opponents, they say, boy, these dudes have a swag to them. The other thing is you have to have confidence. You ready for the word? Competence breeds confidence. You're 0 for 8, it's hard to be a confident player. Get in the gym. What are you working on? What are you going to do in the game? Well, then do it in the gym. And they were great. I mean, the one thing I do is I try to keep it real with individuals and as a group. I told them I could make 2 out of 19 from the three-point line shooting hooks. I did. So they started throwing me the ball. I started shooting hooks. I made 1 out of 19, but I was 1 less than them. And I'm shooting hooks at my age.
How does it play on a player's mind, Xavier in this case? They have the other team not guard you, and you're wide open.
Fuel, use it as fuel. Use it as fuel. You can't come down and try to shoot every ball now, but you're going to say, you're playing me. There's different things we're going to try to do if they go under ball screens. Because I'm telling you, I have all the faith in the world in him. If we can figure this out together with him, and I've asked him, talk to me, tell me what you would do in the past. And my thing is, we figure this out together. At the end of the day, he should be one of the best point guards in the country. Numbers indicate it. He should be. He should be disruptive defensively. We got to help him if they bring up a screener. So we got to figure out what are we doing there. We got to help him if they try to back off or trap off of him. What are we going to do? What is his mindset? You know, there's stuff I got to help him with. I mean, again, if there's confusion, there cannot be an aggressive team. They're confused. They can't be aggressive. It doesn't work. So if they're confused, who's that come back to? Me. If they're confused, I'm not communicating well enough exactly how we want to play. But I'm going to be honest with you. We're changing and trying and doing, and I'm confused. So if I'm confused, they're confused. So we're trying, like we do every year, how do we have to be playing in February and March to be successful? And all these games show us. We had a run of games where, okay, how do we separate? Okay, great. How do we keep playing? Great. How do we play against ourselves? Great. Now we're playing some teams that they're veteran teams that will execute their stuff. What do? You better execute. You don't have to make every shot. You can't miss them all and win. I mean, you look across the country, if someone goes 2 for 20, they're losing by 20. We had a 2-point lead with 1:30 to go and gave it away.
Is that, you mentioned that after the game, the late game execution wasn't what you wanted.
Well, it wasn't bad. We had the ball where we wanted, and he missed it. And then the 3 in the corner that he missed. So we executed that, but we didn't defensively in the last 4 minutes. We gave him 3 layups. Like literally, they did not have to work for a basket. I asked the question, we hold a team to 60, 62 points. What's our record? I mean, you think about my career here, we get you to 60, 62.
It's 194.9, I believe, with 63 less.
Say it again?
194.9, 63 points less.
And now we lost this game and you can't lose. I mean, I get it because I didn't think we lost many, but I didn't know that was the record. So let's keep focusing on keeping people around 60, 65, but we got to score. So we're trying to do some things. So we can't go through one guy. Even in this room, Jerry would double team the post. He doesn't know anything about basketball, but he would double team the post. So if you're saying we're just going to throw it to one guy for 40 minutes, Jerry would double team. So you got to have other people who got to step up and play and take over the game at different points. Please, that's why I've always tried to have 5 guys in double figures. So Jerry couldn't do his trap and take one guy away.
Who's that other guy that's going to take over? Is it a matchup thing?
You tell me.
A hot hand thing?
You tell me who you think it could be.
Well, I think of Xavier myself, but I guess I'm.
Good. So I do too. Who else?
Well, I think several of them are capable. It may be the matchup. I mean,
Perfect. But that ends up being, why did he play more this game and he's not playing as much? Because Matt, and you'll say, even you, Jerry, would say, well, you can't worry about that. You're trying to win. Is that what you would say?
Yes.
Maybe.
2 years ago, you were concerned about Ohio State's physical play, and because your guys at that point had not reached that level.
Now, we had the same kind of schedule we had. We lost to Utah, and after the Ohio State game last year, I said, we're going to be fine. When I watched the tape of that game, we played some guys that later we did not play much. But I was my good heart trying to give guys minutes and let them get in there and try and all this. At the end of the day, it's meritocracy. That's what, it's merit-based, this. Not communism. We don't give out ribbons for everybody. And we're going to have some guys step up and play.
Cal, we've always heard you say extra pass. We want these guys to do one more extra pass. Some of the players who were out here earlier said sometimes we're being a little too selfless, we're passing too much, and we're missing these open shots. How do you sort of find that
I don't believe,
balance?
what they're doing is, I catch it and hold because I want to make the play. When if you move it, you're moving the defense and that guy can make a play. But what about me? I want to make the play. So they'll catch it and do this, and by the time they throw it to him, he's guarded. So whoever said that is, make a shot.
Oh, I think it was Ty. He said, well, sometimes we don't want to throw it into the post and create a turnover, but then you've seen what Oscar's able to do, now we're a little more comfortable.
Okay, good. So you misstated, but that's fine.
Cal, we're talking about other people who can take over. You have the #1 recruit in the country arriving here in a few weeks. Fans are already focused on him. Are you thinking in your mind, can he help us?
Let's just get him to campus. Let's just get him
When
here.
do you think he's going to be here?
Phew, I don't even, what's the date today?
16.
I think he comes after Christmas. We come back from Christmas, he'll be back. Great
Are
kid.
you already thinking about the postseason now? I mean, this game's.
About what?
About the postseason now?
No, I'm just
This game's
thinking,
pretty important
no, it's not. It's December 1960. No, it isn't. But you'd like to win. It's a big game if we win. If not, we, just like last year or 2 years ago, we played them. We walked out knowing we're fine. So this is one, it's a hard game. I can't tell you if we're going to win or lose. You know when I'll know? Yeah, when we win or lose. Then I'll be able to tell you, yeah, we won that one, or yeah, we lost that one. This thing that you go through, new teams all the time, it's a process, and I'm not trying to skip steps. I'm not trying to give them too much, but you got to experiment to figure out what works and what doesn't work. And you have to know what makes you lose before you can win. What's making us lose? What made us lose? Then you figure out, okay, from that, now we know what we got to do. Well, we got to score 75 points. So how do we get to 75? We only had 5 turnovers. We had 5 turnovers, which tells me maybe we weren't aggressive enough. Maybe we didn't drive enough. So that last game, out of the rearview mirror for me, I'm on really tough opponent. I love it. This is what we do here. We play teams like this. We're not in the NBA, so it means we don't play all teams like this, but we play more than any other team in the country, games like this, in a Power 5 league. And we're in that part of our schedule. We got tough games now. We're Kentucky. What do you think? We're in the SEC, maybe the best league, and I would say the best league in college basketball. Can you imagine that? How many years have I been here?
You're 13.
So 91 years. So early on, we were getting 3 teams in. Now you're talking 8, maybe 9 teams in. You're talking a group of teams in the top 25. We had 6 or 7. We got to get into that too. It's going to be hard. And like I said to the guys, this is what Kentucky, it's hard. Every game we play, you know what I showed them? Is the scrum after the game. Their fans rushing the court. You know what I said? Every game we play on the road, what? You lose, that's what. So why don't we try to ruin their weekend? Because if not, you made their weekend, because that's what you're going to see. The scrum, here they came. I saw a guy go from the upper deck, run down, flip over, he hit his head on the pole, kept running, his eye was bleeding, and he was going like this. And he looked at me, and I'm like, oh, dude, you're bleeding. I mean, that's what happens when you're playing against us. And they got to realize it. I do, and I love it. You know what I tell them, like I said to you, if I don't get thoroughly booed on the road, it's probably time to retire. I want that boo to be so loud they try to take the roof off. And I look at the team, we're in the right place, let's go. Just the mindset, trying to get these guys in.
All right, guys, send it there.
Thank you.